The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Q101, it's Brian and Kenzie, and very, very excited and very happy to have some AEW people in the house because AEW Collision coming up tomorrow night at the United Center. At the United Center. A few tickets still available, too. You can go out there and get your tickets because this is the return of CM Punk. I mean, this is AEW in Chicago have such a history of the thing built here at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got Stokely Hathaway and Orange Cassidy in the studio. I was at the very first All In show in Hoffman Estates. I've spent every Labor Day at All Out in Hoffman Estates ever since. I was telling Stokely before I got here, I met him years ago at a Ring of Honor show, which he's now a board member of, and at the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge. Orange Cassidy wrestled a number of times in Logan Square. I feel like I've seen these guys grow up before my eyes as I've grown up, and I'm delighted that they're here in studio now.
You're an upstanding adult now.
I'm a grown man. I'm a big boy.
So welcome to the studio, guys. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And I am still growing, obviously.
Yes. you're clocking into what now? 5'5", 5'6"?
6'1"-ish.
Yeah, for sure.
Roughly.
You've got the voice of somebody that's 6 feet for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you sound good.
Thank you. That helps my self-esteem. So
anything I can do for you, you let me know, okay? You need coffee, you need water, I got you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, Orange Cassidy, I know you're not wrestling tomorrow night, but you're wrestling this week over at Wintrust Arena. That'll be next week, that match coming up.
Yeah. We're in Chicago a bunch, and I got a big match next week on Dynamite. It's me and Shibata, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, against Zack Sabre Jr., the New Japan World Champion, and Danny Garcia. I just realized I just said a lot of names that people don't know what I'm talking about. But it's a pretty big tag match from international talent. So, I'm going to be hanging out in Chicago for a while. I really love Chicago.
Does it give you anxiety at all?
No, I feel fine all the time.
Yeah, as you can tell, he is very happy to be here. You can feel the enthusiasm.
It's a lot of warmth, a lot of joy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the sky out now right now. Yeah. It kind of feels nice.
Orange, let me ask you a question because, like you said, and maybe people don't know, he's teaming with Katsuyori Shibata on Wednesday, and he's a pro wrestler turned MMA fighter turned back again pro wrestler. He had to retire due to health issues a few years ago, but now he's back. And it's my understanding that this trained martial artist, this man who is respected around the world, when he came back to wrestling, he specifically wanted to work with you. Is that true?
That is very true. And you're putting it lightly when you're saying that he had to retire because of health issues. He actually was in a match, and he almost died.
It's true.
And they had to rush him to the hospital, and he was able to survive. Obviously.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be wrestling.
But
in that match that he got hurt in, just so people maybe don't know, he headbutted his opponent, and the sound that was in Japan, but I heard it live on my computer at the time, and people around the world heard it. I'll see if I can mimic the sound of the desk. It sounded like this.
Oh, yeah.
It was a headbutt, and it was skull-on-skull contact. And believe it or not, I'm not up to date on my science, but that is actually very bad for you.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I think so.
And after you're saying all that, which is very terrifying, right? And knowing all that, when that guy wants to fight you, it can be a little intimidating. But we ended up fighting for my international championship. And I won. No big deal.
Oh, sure. Nothing big deal. Orange Cassidy, Stokely Hathaway hanging out here. So what are you going to do in Chicago while you're waiting for your next match, which is coming up next week? What do you do around the city?
I'm going to find a place to sleep for a while.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Eat some food. I mean, I think Stokely and I are going to be doing different things.
Yeah.
Stokely, you're in the big city. What are you up to? What are you doing?
I don't know. I mean, where are the best wings? Like I like to go to a wing stop, a Buffalo Wild Wings. Pull out my laptop. Book some matches. That's where I can really focus and hone in on the craft of matchmaking.
I'm saying Jake Melnick's is a place I would choose right not far from here right now, about 5 blocks away.
Okay. If I name drop you, will I get a discount?
Sure.
That's the question.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Say Kenzie.
Okay.
Oh, you're so full of it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
He knows that coupon's not going to cash.
So they're going to make me pay more if I name drop her.
I'm just saying the last time I was there, things didn't go so well.
Okay, thank you.
So head out there. So the event again tomorrow night, AEW Collision at the United Center. And again, what's kind of either of you guys, both of your favorite memories of Chicago going back all the way? Like I said, AEW is such a rich history of the events here. Is there a match here? Is there a moment here on the street? Is there something that happened to you here in Chicago that just stands out in your head when you come into town?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I wrestled Pac at Revolution here in Chicago.
Yes.
And was it 2020?
It was right before the pandemic,
Right before everything just stopped working.
A man who, by the way, you look at this guy, Cool, Calm, and Collective, wrestled a wrestler named Pac, who was dubbed himself the Bastard, which says everything you need to know about him.
For sure.
And we've
quite the spectacle.
That started a long relationship that I had with him. That relationship's based on fighting each other all the time.
No peace in sight.
I mean, when your name is the Bastard,
He's named after Tupac. That's crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah, that's real crazy.
I heard he's a big Tupac fan.
Yeah.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, it's Q101. We already got our qualifiers. Actually, it's Orange Cassidy and Stokely Hathaway. They are going to Fall Out Boy. They're staying in town all week, and they just want to have a nice little guys' time over there at Wrigley Field watching Fall Out Boy and hanging out. Is that right, guys?
I've known Stokely for too long of a time, and the idea that I sat here with Stokely and we both listened to Fall Out Boy at the same time.
Yeah, it's
really
very depressing.
made me feel good inside.
Oh, that's great. That's
So
great.
both of you had different feelings on that it seems like.
Of course.
What was it like? What's both of your interactions with CM Punk? Coming back tomorrow night, AEW Collision debuting at the United Center tomorrow night, the return of CM Punk. What's your just general interactions with CM Punk?
You want to go for it? All right, so I don't really have any interactions with CM Punk. One time I made a joke about some fish or something, and then he didn't hear me, so I just kept walking. And that's
Excellent story.
That's pretty much all I got.
Story.
Oh, God. All right.
Our conversations have been great. I think he thought that I was an awful human being until I name dropped Robin Harris, who is from Chicago, and that's how we bonded a little bit. So, hopefully tomorrow he doesn't hit me with a GTS. I am far too fragile for that. But yeah, as far as I know, we are on good terms.
All right. That's
Well, keep us updated on that. If he bites you, let us know.
Okay, we'll do.
Yes, I know he's had some issues with that lately.
And by the way, it's very exciting here with Orange Cassidy bringing out the belt during the song there.
The AEW International Champion.
Now, we do have cameras going here at Q101.com, of course, and our Q101 YouTube page you should be a subscriber of. It's just always nice to see the belt, you know, from the international champion when he brings it with him, just happens to have it on him.
Yeah, I keep it in my backpack, and I take it wherever I go because it's just easier to carry in a backpack. But I realized when I put it down on the table, it was still inside the backpack, so I had to take it out so you guys can see it.
Right. We appreciate it.
Well, you
He's a very smart
specifically
guy.
said so you know that I'm not a liar, which I kind of like.
It's true. I do keep it in my Jansport backpack.
Is it a pain to travel with? Do you get checked at the airline all the time with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always like, well, what is this? And then sometimes there are people like, oh, is that the belt? I'm like, yep. And they go, can I see it? And then I have to show the TSA people.
Sure.
They're very nice. They're very nice.
Does anybody try to tell you, is that your fantasy football belt you won from your group of guys there?
Yeah, it's usually just like, oh, what is that for? And I say, it's the belt I beat a lot of grown men bigger than me for.
And he will do it again coming up at AE Dynamite at Wintrust the 21st next week. Wrestling there, Orange Cassidy and Stokely Hathaway. Thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out, and so excited about the event at United Center tomorrow night.
Yeah, one of the many things going on this weekend. You can go to Q101.com. The weekend Q101 blog is there with everything going around Chicago this weekend. Free stuff, paid stuff, how to get into AEW Collision, which is tomorrow at the United Center. Maybe you'll see Stokely Hathaway there. Maybe you'll see Orange Cassidy there. If not, Wednesday, AEW Dynamite at Wintrust Arena. Tickets still available for that as well.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.